Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. Everyone, we want to feel here on Canal Park. So we are fighting in like a big urban center with canals. Canals? Canals? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, let's go for the players. We have Roberta's going straight ahead with Ostdivision for the Wehrmacht. So we're definitely on the Eastern Front for sure now with Volksgrenadiers and Osttruppen being called in. Meanwhile, we have Buchhorst playing as Rifle Division for the Soviet Union. Okay, we're just gonna see numbers and numbers today, aren't we? Because Ostdivision can get the Osttruppen, which are fairly cheap, and that means you can have numbers to face off against the Soviet Union. I almost feel as if Ostdivision is kind of designed to fight on the Eastern Front, because it kind of fits the whole name, I imagine, and the whole theme of it. Like, a lot of these units seem to like be designed to be able to build up and sustain against the Russians that are incoming towards you. They're very defensive commander, as far as I understand. And he gets a lot of Russian equipment. Like the Volksgrenadiers here can actually get the PPSH as an upgrade, which makes a lot of sense because the Germans used a lot of captured Russian equipment on the Eastern Front. And the Osttruppen can even get an extra man and be armed with like SVTs and similar stuff. So lots of interesting stuff. Pioneer's not gonna last long though, I feel, if the Soviets decide to overrun them. The Soviets are still getting units out to cover more of the map. Now, playing as the rifle commander as the Soviets means you can get a lot more conscript later on, because they get 20 manpower cheaper at a certain command point. So you can just keep flooding the map with troops, basically. Yes, need to be very cautious here. Molotov going out, denying the Germans a bit of cover. But the Volksgrenadiers are getting a good job there. Osttruppen are now engaging with the conscripts down here. I believe Osttruppen are somewhat worse than Russians, but it's hard to say. The main thing is that their squad leader doesn't have a automatic weaponry. He only has a Kar 98. So if you get close to them, they're kind of vulnerable. Unlike like the Volksgrenadiers, who the squad leader has the MP40 and the conscript squad leader has a PPSH. We also have a Maxim coming out early here for the Soviet Union to bolster the front line. There's a machine gun coming out for the Germans, so there's going to be an MG34. Cheaper machine gun than the MG42, but I'm not sure how much. 90-30 to 70-20. That's actually not that big of a difference. The main thing is you can get the MG34 without getting the first building if you want to rely entirely on Tier 0, basically. Was stopped against good flanking shots there. Firing at long range with their Kar 98s. So far, the Soviets seem to not have won most of the engagements yet. They don't even have a fuel point at the moment. Max is sitting out on the open, which is not where you want to set it up. But I suppose this fuselage of fire against one squad without a lot of automatic weaponry might work out in the end. Just because they have conscripts nearby to merge into if they need it. And they start suppressing them, so that means the Soviets win that engagement. And yep, a merge going out. Very nice to see. That's good use of the conscripts, that you can just merge on the field with other squads. Now we're seeing an actual Fantoviki coming out, so some trained Russian soldiers. Who will definitely be able to fight off the Osttruppen with ease.
Production upgrade accomplished.
I've had my game crash a lot recently, and I have no idea why. Oh, and there's also merging with the Osttruppen. The two random Eastern Europeans are being bunched in with 3 Germans there. Hopefully they'll get along. Hopefully they've learned enough of German at this point. PPSH is now being equipped here to the slash German slash Eastern European squad. So both sides are going to use the merge option of their cheaper units. Fascinating. Fantoviki is now present there. Much better squad. And the conscripts much better. They can definitely take the fight to the German infantry.
We are awaiting orders.
Setting up a fuel cache because they can build stuff. They essentially serve as defensive builders as well, so they can really secure up the rear of your front line and supply lines. That's kind of some of the stuff the Osttruppen were used for, rather than direct frontline combat all the time. I guess not all of them could be trusted to fight as efficiently. Now we have the Germans equipped with the PPSHs. Shots fired down here. With Suppen getting took a rifle shot from a conscript. Few more shots going out. No sides hitting one another. The PM being equipped here on the Fontoviki. Definitely gonna improve their firepower. And the Ostrom are not gonna be able to fight off Fontoviki. Conscripts could also probably try and take that point. But the MG-44 is moving up here. Moving up behind the sandbags. I might not... yeah, it does look like Conscripts are in range. Off-class putting some shots in. But now they're about to be overrun by the Soviets. Throwing a little egg grenade there. But the Conscripts were just a distraction. Should probably target down the Ostromen first, but I guess they decide the Alf-class, the more costly unit for them to lose. Another egg grenade going out. Oh, and the Fontovikis are noticing. Did they take out that guy? And then a grenade going out on the Ostromen, but the Ostromen might win that engagement. Will they be able to hit him while suppressed? Oh, looks like the Fontoviki gets away with the DPM! Battlefield looks even now, territory-wise. But the Russians decided to get a lot more men on the field. More conscripts and more Fontoviki coming in. Getting lots of troops on the field here. Pioneers moving to the southern flank, not sure what for, probably to just shore up the defenses while there's no one there. We also have a pack arriving now for the Germans. Looks like a pack 40. No, that's a pack 38 actually. Just the same model as the pack 40 because we cannot have custom models in Common Heroes 2 modding, unfortunately. And the Russians prepare to push up again. Getting behind some cover there. The battle going out on the conscripts. The DPM has been equipped on the Fontoviki again. Really a very solid choice for the Fontoviki. Allows them to fight at long range. Fortified position here might be cancelled. Yeah. Thanks to the PPSH armed folks grenadier. One of the few Germans we actually have on this battlefield so far. Lots of Osttromen really. Oh, we are seeing the 25th Panzergrenadiers being called in. An elite Panzergrenadier regiment only able to Ostdivision that can be equipped with a lot of good stuff. This is probably some of the best Panzergrenadiers the Wehrmacht can get, and they're only able to Ostdivision. So we have a bunker being set up here by the Soviets. Getting into the dirt with their shovels. The SHs are firing again. And pretty decent shots in. But the PPSH is opening up again. But the PPSH Maxim. Bunker set up. They're probably going to answer with a Dushka, I imagine. We're fighting down here by the park yet. Oh, Molotov going in and the Volksgrenadiers force them back. 25th in a bunker down there for some reason. Probably a misclick. Ostrom gonna get behind the woodworking station, but they're being suppressed. Looks like the Panzergrenadiers have already been equipped with the scope Sturmgewehrs. Probably gonna get armed with an MG42 after this or a Panzerschreck, depending on what role they want them in. We can also just give them a scope Gewehr 43 if you want to be truly long range. 2-1 is being prepared. Kinda expected. You're seeing a Dushka coming up here alongside some bolstered defenses, so this thing is going to be very hard to take down when the bolstered defenses gets taken up. And the Dushka will prevent any light vehicles and infantry. This arc. At least unless they get smoked out.
I suppose you have orders. Shoots in here.
Let's get this moving up. Yeah, really good squads, so they can be trusted to handle things. MD-34 suppressing the Russians on the northern flank. It's gonna be very hard to flank a German machine gun when it's set up. Very wide arc, as you can see.
Resupply by air is now available, Commander.
Compared to the Russian one, where the arc is not nearly as wide. And bunker is now fortified. Making that a very hard one to crack. It's a 2-2-1. Well, that's it, it's a good one. We also have a sniper called in. Unique unit available to Ostdivision and a few other German commanders. They probably should not stand out on the open road like that. Great assault on the pack, they managed to pull it back. Great assault going towards the Panzer Grenadiers. Unless they managed to dodge it. But here comes the 2-2-2. They do have AT grenades. Oh, they missed though! Now the 2-2 might be in a good position, but the Dushka could hit it at a certain angle, like there. It does have Radpanzer though, so it does actually have the armor to be able to survive 50 caliber bullets frontally. If it didn't have Radpanzer, it would chew right through it. Why are you standing in a flower bed? I guess they just like the smell. Well, the sniper is silently judging them from the side. Are these the kind of people he's working with? Probably not what he intended. Voices that Dushka emplacement. Pioneers have been supplemented by some Ostturben. Lots of Ostturben being used for merging. It's very good to see because it gives you a lot of cheaper merging options. Well, much cheaper reinforce options because you can just pull some Ostturben inside the squad. Guess the sniper shooting at the bunker, which is not going to do anything. AC-76 on the field, nice to see. Russians are going for an assault gun, which is good at supplementing the infantry. Puts it to high explosive shells. But the pack could shoot it here. Oh, they were trying to do this shape charge. Oh, they got it off! Both grenadiers are now down here. Looks like there's one German leading a squad of Ostturben. Critical moments get a penetrating bullet. But it's not enough. But the fortified defenses will help that things stay around for a while. Panzer Grenadiers sitting up here with their Sturmgewehrs. Panzers are preparing to charge. And the Volksgrenadiers are losing their nerve and pulling back. Grenade assault going overhead. And more Russians pushing up. Throwing another grenade assault, this time aim for the pack. Laying out the pack crew. But one conscript goes out, but that's definitely worth it, didn't it? Because conscripts are so replaceable if you're playing as Rifle Company. Or Rifle. What's it called? Rifle Corps? Division. I'm not good at Russian. Pack gun being established in the center of a road. Flag emplacement, rather. Probably a good choice, but I don't think it can reach the Dushka position yet. Oh, Ostturben called in. More grenade assaults coming out here. Ostturben being used to merge with the Panzer Grenadier. All the grenades are hitting around the flag. Exactly, that's some interesting choices, but I guess that's just the flag is taking all the grenades like a magnet. It's a magnetized flagpole. These conscripts managed to get away from that. Oh, flag is not set up, but now it's established. It's going to be a problem for the Soviets. Well, the sniper just keeps getting some pot shots in. Although doing it in the middle of the road, I don't think it's the wisest of moves, but I'm not the sniper themselves. They probably know best. Maxim is remaining there in ambush ready to hit something that comes up the road here. It could actually kill that. It could actually shoot that sniper, but they're waiting. This gun is being used as an artillery piece. Generally a choice you can use with a lot of Russian equipment. They can generally have dual purpose. All Russians running around, getting into new positions. Pack being recruited by the Osttoppen. Now the flag is opening fire again. Aiming for the Maxim, because they've spotted it. Probably thanks to the Aufklar, yeah, definitely thanks to the Aufklar. And Maxim has to get out of there. We also have a lieutenant now arriving here for the Soviet Rifle Company. I suppose this loaded here on the issue 76. And it's going for the flag, isn't it? Yep, clearing it out in one shot. Very good shot there from the issue 76. A really good weapon and more people will need to use. Well, the Sys gun is trying to work here as a deterrent. Find some artillery shells in. Oh, did not penetrate that issue 76.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
More conscripts being called in. They should now be cheaper because they got the command points. They're 160 apiece instead of 180. So you can get a lot of conscripts out for cheap. 2-2 is ready again. Opening fire with its 2 centimeter gun. The 2 centimeter, that's what it's called, not 20 centimeter. 20 centimeter would be way too big. Ooh, they don't see the pack.
One of our emplacements is under attack.
Oh, they lost the optics. Let's take that by a second shot.
We have lost one.
Double heads is being played by the Ostdivision.
The enemy has taken out one of our buildings.
They really need to take out that 222. That's just a very hard one to deal with, however. Looks like it's kind of bugged because you can see a gunner up there, which they really should not be visible. There's quite a few bugs sometimes in the mods because it's a little bit of a jank game to mod, as I understand.
You need something built? Your order. We have a DP-20. Yes, comrade.
The Russians need new orders. EPM is present here on more Fontavivi. Good Grey is all clearing out the pack again. Ooh, and yeah, trying to set up the sandbags there while the flag is being recruited. Now, probably not the best choice. You can actually see them stepping on the pedal to fire the flag. That's a cool thing. Here's the Mthis, a diminutive little tank destroyer for the German army. Built on the Czech Panzer 38T, I believe. Czech Panzer 38. Like as a stopgap weapon, as I understand. Like the Germans just need something to like deal with Russian tanks. Ooh, Soviet artillery barrage did not really hit the flag in front of it. It was a little bit off.
Men on me.
Probably very hard to direct artillery back in the day. Probably still is today.
Pack loaded for panzer hunting.
Scout car awaiting orders. Yes.
Pack crew is ready.
The flag using the pack voice lines?
Ready. We have our reinforcements.
Probably because they don't have a flag in the original German faction for Company of Heroes 2.
MG-42 turret is ready. AT gun here.
They're kind of limited in the voice packs they can use or voice files. The 2 opening up. Lots of rifles here though from the Soviet side. This also setting up. Oh, destroying the 222, or decrewing it rather.
Join our forces to help inspire our men.
Probably someone should probably merge with the Sys group. Artillery being called in here by a Hauptmann of the German infantry. Probably going to be a very big barrage. Oh yeah, pretty big, and actually killing quite a few things. Actually not, but it only decrewed the Sys. Surprised these squads not take a lot of damage, probably because they hit the ground quick.
HMG crew is ready.
SSR being equipped with their remote-controlled MG-34s, which is quite of a unique feature of the Hetzer. Basically, it's remote control from inside the tank, which means there's no real chance of the gunner being killed. Double T-34s being prepared in retaliation by the Soviet Red Army. Then it probably needs to get some medic attention. More fun so he can rush up to the front line with the DPMs. Take up defensive positions. Oh, looks like we have the Hetzers working together this time. I guess the double pintle-mounted remote-controlled MG-34s could work, but they need infantry with them because their line of sight is not that far on their own, as you can see. They need some infantry to provide supplement, but I guess that's what the Alpha class here are for. They're actually using a flare over the Russian lines. When the Hetzer's going for it. 180 grenade going out. Almost killing one Hetzer. Actually killing it.
We have lost a panzer.
Now Hetzer probably has to reconsider this. Now an MG-34, E-34 is coming around. 80 grenade up, penetrate the front of it. Oh, one T-34 misses right on the flank. That's definitely a dead Hetzer. What? The Hetzer that could. Even penetrate, but I did not do a lot of damage. It dazed the T-34 crew. A Hetzer actually managed to get out of there alive. What the hell, man? But second T-34 is now in the field. And the Russians do have a lot of conscripts they could send out to the fight. Pair teams going up for that T-34. Hetzer definitely needs some repairs, and that's what the Pioneers are here for. Oh, what are they doing? Why are you running back? Oh, they're driving the Hetzer back to base to repair back there. Because they're repair teams. Okay, that makes more sense. That's the far better thing to do. They got the repair teams now behind you, so they're probably going to build a cache or something. Other options. But the front lines are a little bit silent as both sides are figuring out what to do next.
Rifleman ready.
Oh, for the HQ set up here by the Red Army. Also, the medics so they can heal here. While conscripts are moving across. Great assault going out on the Hauptmann, forcing him to cancel his artillery barrage. The German sniper is doing its best with his Kar-98. Slowly getting shots and getting kills by doing this.
An officer is awaiting orders.
And the more veterans he gets, he will actually start to have a long range. Oh, we also have a howitzer set up here by the Germans. 10.5 centimeter. Will definitely give the Germans the artillery advantage. Jetzt das wieder kein Norb zum Osttruppland zum Volksgrenadier.
We are suffering losses.
Of course, are ready to move for the Soviets, but it looks like they're clearing out the area first with some conscripts. Trying to secure the park. Pack 38 is still present. Meanwhile, we have a German battle force going up here with the headset. Oh, it's opening fire. Here comes the T-34s. Osthoffen do have Panzerfauster as default. Ooh, this tank is around the cover. And he rammed over the pack! Because I forgot that you can actually ram over weapon teams with a T-34. But he's gonna die because of it. That was pretty great though. I keep forgetting that the T-34s can do that. They don't give a shit.
The enemy is trying to destroy a structure.
Now while this is going on in the park, the Germans are pushing up through the train yard area. With the Hetzer, DBSHs and Osthoffen, but there is a Duske position. Hetzer's pushing up. Using a high explosive shell. They do a lot of damage there. I think the Soviets might lose this northern flank at the moment. They don't have anything to stop the Germans pushing through. All thanks to a Hetzer.
We have lost the defensive structure.
Lieutenant is relocating though, and more conscripts being called in. Osthoffen pushing forward. High explosive is loaded, but will they get the Panzerfaust off? They will not.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
Oh, Osthoffen are dead. Germans are losing a lot of their Eastern European conscripts.
Fresh conscripts
Well, T-34 for the northern front here. Going over a fountain just because you'll like it. And the Hetzer might be in over its head here. There's an MT-34 behind. T-34 misses. But the Russians still control the most important points up here. They've also taken some of the park. Artillery going in around the T-34. Well, then by the Hauptmann. Mobilizing the T-34. You know, the T-34 appears taking action. No penetration from the Hetzer. Ooh. Tank is shot in from the Hetzer. Heat shell loaded. But Hetzer takes it out.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
You know, the T-34 down here remains immobilized. Stuck. And now I think the Osthoffen will be able to take out this T-34. No, they got suppressed almost immediately. Will they get close enough to use the Panzerfaust? Looks like they will. Russians have lost their armor presence for now. So far, the Soviets and the Germans are having a lot of back and forth. You have a Kapitan called in, which you can call in much heavy artillery from the Soviets. Maxim keeps opening fire there.
Enemy forces capturing supply.
Looks like Osthoffen are going to go for a flank. Using a Panzerfaust on the Maxim. Oh, but they got suppressed and missed. But Spiegel managed to force them off. But the Soviet conscripts still standing back and waiting for orders. While Osthoffen are trying to secure the park again. But that won't last long because here comes the Soviet swarm. That's a lot of rifles coming this way. Hans Grenadiers trying into position. But there might be too many Russians for them to stop.
We are losing Soldat.
And conscripts got too close and started their grenade assaults.
Steal our sector.
Hauptmann is trying to call in some artillery barrages. If the Russians just keep pushing, that's not going to stop them, I feel. But they're standing still, though, and allowing the artillery barrage to be called in. Uh-oh. Oh, one squad entirely wiped out. 2 squads wiped out. 3 squads wiped out. Fortunately, it was only conscripts, so the Soviets can easily replace them. Ooh, it looks like the heads up here got taken out by a SIS gun. They have Folks Grenadiers with the PPSHs in this flank. NG-34 is pulling back. As the lines are sort of realigning to what they were originally again.
Our infantry can now rush into the
Ostrom once again cannot stand up to all of these the conscripts. They have been armed with an MT-34 now though. But when they return later, they hopefully will be a lot more useful if they don't die here. But they'll make it. The MG-34 on the Ostrom is actually a pretty good upgrade for them. Really improves their firepower. Just having a German machine gun on your squad really improves the firepower in total. Kinda nuts. Artillery called in here by the Lieutenant this time. A much smaller barrage for much cheaper. T-34 arriving, and we are seeing the Ferdinand, the Elephant, being prepared here by the Ostdivision. Unique heavy tank available to them. I think it's the only heavy armored vehicle they can get, actually. Which is probably very insane. I don't think the Russians have a lot that can stop this. Especially frontally. They'll have to flank it or swarm it with conscripts. The German house just awaits new orders. Ammunitions to fire, because it looks like both sides are kind of lacking in munitions at the moment. 100mm 80 gun is being set up here by the Russians though, which I really don't think is needed if they're only going to be fighting a Ferdinand, which is not going to be that aggressive. But I guess Buchholz is kind of expecting there to be Panzer IVs or something at this point. I suppose if loaded on the T-34 will be able to stop the pack. Oh, it on the shot.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Great going into the conscripts.
All of our troops have been lost.
And T-34 taken out, and now the 100mm 80 gun is present. I'm really not sure it's the correct choice, because now they have the legit target for the howitzer. The thing is, munitions to fire this howitzer. Both sides are really starved for munitions at the moment. They've been using a lot of their weapons all the time.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Especially with all the grenade assaults.
We have emergency reserves at
The
the
PPSHs are preventing the Soviets from taking this munitions point.
We have additional Osttruppen available.
This is being used to try and clear out that Volksgrenadier squadron. Yes, they're forced to pull back briefly. Now the Ferdinand is on the field. Let's see what can happen with this thing on the field. Half class are trying to sneak up. Detected somehow, probably because they were spotted by a flare briefly. Wait for the flare effect to disappear. There we go, now they're stealthed again.
Officer reporting.
Double 100mm 80 gun. That is what is Buchholz doing? Like, that's a lot of 18 in a small area that's easy for artillery to hit. That's gonna be very intriguing.
I await your orders, Commandant.
The Aufklass gonna get clear sights of them and allow the Hauptmann to start calling in artillery, as we can see. We're calling around here. Good utilization of the Aufklass combined with the officer right there. Oh, that's gonna be very costly for the Soviets to lose. Comes the artillery. Both 100mm guns immediately cleared out. The Germans just need to capitalize on it. The Russians are just gonna rush to recapture them.
A new unit has arrived.
Here comes the Panzergrenadiers. Ooh! I guess the 100mm shell does do a lot of damage even to infantry, even if it's not a high explosive shell. It is a big gun after all. That Ferdinand actually has to be cautious. Because I think the 100mm 80 guns can actually pierce it. You have to keep reloading. High explosive loaded on one of them. Take a while to fire. I think they actually cancelled the high explosive. Artillery called in. This time it's just mortar barrages. I think it's a mortar barrage. Yep. Managed to get the nade grenade off. Then reveals it briefly. Ooh, and one 100mm shot almost kills it in one shot there. I guess the thing is kind of dangerous. And the 34 armed Ostruppen now on the field. Already also been equipped with an extra man, as you can see, but they don't really show that because they think he already died. I suppose to load it on the 100mm gun. Oh! Didn't kill the squads though, so lucky for them.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Oof. Not gonna be easy for the Germans to break through that unless they get more artillery on it.
Reserves of manpower stand ready to be used.
Waiting for your
More Soviet infantry still come into the field. We also have a recon squad now.
squad. Your predecessor.
Soviets probably need to get that munitions somehow. Or if they can somehow get the munitions out here in the park.
Field gun standing by.
The Germans have a lot of fuel at the moment, but they have no manpower or munitions either. The Russians don't really have manpower at the moment.
Conscripts here. We are awaiting orders.
Probably used all their fuel on these.
Gun here. Shame to the LMG team ready.
So what's the next one gonna do is the question. Now the howitzer also have munitions to fire, but they're using it on something else. They use the Hauptmann again. I guess his barrage is kind of the best thing they have at the moment. Oh, the Aufklass have been spotted though.
We have casualties.
What do you need?
100mm guns do seem to be surprisingly accurate.
Lieutenant Colonel, at your command.
That's just the shell is that big. Artillery called in on the 100mm 80 guns. Laying them out again. Almost destroys them. But the Russians just keep recruiting them with fresh troops. That's one way of doing it. And then just merge in. Very smart.
It is safe behind this wall.
The Aufklar, well, the recon squad probably reveals, yeah, they now know where the thing is. Now the actual howitzer is opening fire.
Howitzer crew standing by.
They're aiming for the forward HQ. Artillery being called in now by the Soviet lieutenants. Thanks to the recon squad. A2 PM41 mortar heavy barrage fire for effect. Some ranging shots going in as the Soviets barrages do. Forcing the Germans to back off. But the Soviet barrages are pretty big, as you can very clearly see. I think they're more costly. Yeah, they're definitely more costly. The German one only costs 25 for the lieutenant. An aid station trying to be set up here by the Soviets, but now the Germans have no cover. Oh, well, not a lot of cover anyway.
That was not so
The Soviet Capitan probably has a very big rise they could utilize. Oh my god, those 100mm guns are actually pretty good. Never mind. Just needs a few extra shots to just deal with any stragglers. That's actually a very potent, very potent gun position. Just need to get repaired. With smoke! Now that is how you do it. That'll obscure them. And allow the Germans to get in close. And the Panzergrenadiers can get very close here. And then artillery going in again. Once the smoke clears, these recon troops are gonna get killed, yeah. And 80 guns have been cleared and one of them destroyed entirely. But here comes the conscripts for the Ferdinand. And there's a lack of troops to defend it. AT grenades don't penetrate it though because the frontal armor of the Ferdinand is so high. 2,400, which is pretty high. I think only the Jagdtiger has more frontal armor. I'm just gonna try and grab the 100mm. They know what's going on. Ooh, 180 grade penetrates. One of the millimeters turning, and now it actually can shoot the elephant. Oh, and it gets it! Never mind, 100mm. Those 100mm really were a decent investment, I guess. Germans need to try something else, but the Russians also need to advance somehow. The Russians definitely just have the ability to just get more men on the field still, but see what happens. We also have another 222 on the field I completely missed. Guess it's just been sitting back there doing nothing.
Ready as we'll ever be. Standing by.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
Germans need to figure out something else. But what? That is the question. More barrages are being prepared by the Germans here.
Lieutenant Colonel, at your command. Waiting for your command.
Soviets might be planning to overrun another part of the map. How much the shots will hit? Yeah, so far they seem to do. Yeah, decrewing the AT gun again. The second barrage going in just to finish it off. The 222 pushing up. And there we go. Both 180 guns, 180 guns are down for good. But here comes a swarm of Soviet conscripts. Half class and not in a good position there.
Infantry squad has been killed.
I think the German officers probably need to get away from there as well. With all the fuel the Germans have, they could probably invest in the Kampfkraft Center. Just get veterancy for their troops. Which really pays off in the long run, by the way. Because that means, in theory, if they could go for it, they could have veterancy free posts coming out the gate. Which means they can get an extra man for all of them. Ooh, and those clusters get mowed down thanks to the weapons here. Very potently done. The Germans might actually have the opening they need to get some territory again. Especially with all the Russians that are dying.
Squad of infantry has been killed. Death before retreat.
First aid station down. Artillery has been called in by the Soviet Union, though, it looks like. Being prepared by the lieutenant. Meanwhile, we return howitzer shots from the Germans also landing. I really feel the Soviets need to see if they can get that fuel point back. Another unique squad for Ost Division is being called in now. Where are they? The Sturmgrenadier, which is an elite assault squad you can get as the Ost Division. You can only have one of them on the field at a time. We rarely see them used, so it's very nice to see them. I certainly like them. It's just we rarely ever get to see them, as I've said. But they are much good at close quarters engagement and urban and combat, so kind of the perfect map for them. There they are. The 78th Storm Division. Looks like the 2 is also doing a good job on the flank here. Atigon tries to get into a new position here to try and stop the 2 from being a problem. Ooh, good howitzer shot, almost killing the assist gun there. Now the Osttruppen are pushing up with their MG34. Supporting the Panzer Grenadiers there. Oh, high explosive though from the assist gun kills the squad entirely. Drops the MG34. Not looking good there at all. Hoffman could probably run over and get the... Oh, and they also lost the Panzer Grenadiers. You choose now... Oh, it's reloading. There we go. Now it's going through the crew. And the Surge just practically lost everything in a short amount of time there. Double T-34 is being prepared in retaliation. Bosses are trying to take their munitions now. Bosses really need to get that fuel point, or that munitions point. But the flak can cover it by the looks of it. Oh, but not from that angle, because that's a side blocker. Double 2-2 in the field now. And Sturmgrenadiers are now also ready to move with them. One grenade going out. Ooh, and the Germans don't notice. They do a lot of damage though. But 2-2s are definitely being a little bit of an issue here. With MG34 on the ground. One base defense struck down. One T-34 on the field arriving. And more constants are being flooded onto the field now because the Soviets need a field presence. The battle suddenly turned around. That 2-2 is in trouble. Being immobilized by the Panzerbüchse. That's actually surprisingly good penetrations from the Panzerbüchse and the T-34 front of it.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Sturmgrenadiers are being equipped with PPSHs. Also being equipped with MP40s, Gewehr 43s, and even a flamethrower. So this squad can be equipped for a lot of close and medium range combat. Kind of what you would expect of them.
Standing by. Soldiers ready. Grenadiers ready.
Osttruppen trying to push against the conscripts. One egg grenade going out and a grenade assault from the infantry. Both sandbags taken out. T-34 is pushing upwards. There is a lack of German AT at the moment. They only have the Pak 38. That has to move now.
We have lost a squad.
U2 on the northern flank. One T-34 has to relocate quick, because that Maxim is not going to last long. The sandbags are holding for a little bit. When the Pak got a very good shot there on one T-34.
T-34 crude loaded and ready.
Maxim got taken out.
Conscripts here.
And the Russians need to take this point to get fuel.
T-34 ready.
Kapitan has just been sitting around on the northern flank, evidently. Doing jack all. Order now being prepared by the Soviets. They probably need some kind of artillery. And howitzer has not been doing a lot at the moment. The Germans are getting time to save up a lot more munitions. Russians are trying to get the cutoff point here again. The more Panzer Grenadiers are trying to prevent it. More Soviets moving onto the fields. Order arriving there. Folks Grenadiers moving up with their PPSHs as well. Open bits behind to provide a reinforced point. Oh, those concepts not gonna last up close. As you can see.
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
The concepts are just lacking automatic weaponry at the moment. Oh, they're scavenging the wrecks of the 100mm. Guess that's something you can use them for. If of course, really coming back to the front. Putting high explosive shell. Almost getting the folks Grenadier. Pack 38 is trying to rush up. And the front line is back to the established thing again. The front line is not really moving much in this street. Very long battle by looks of it as well. Some of these battles can be really long. Quite long for 1v1 of all things, and on a small map like this as well. But I guess neither commander is really that good at assaulting. They're both very defensive oriented commanders. Luke G is being prepared now by the Germans though. And artillery is going in on the Soviet base. Try and kill anything that might be staying around in there. Here the shells coming in.
We have a new T-34 stand. Our headquarters is taking enemy
The thing is, you can probably just get preventative maintenance and don't have to worry about the base being destroyed by artillery anymore. At least what I recommend if your base is under artillery strikes. Like, getting that little upgrade will definitely just prevent that from being an issue. So it's pushing out here alongside the T-44. One veteran C3 conscript actually, so they could actually be equipped with PBSHs. Which really improves their firepower, by the way. Also DPM on the ground by the looks of it. More and more T-34s are being prepared.
combat engineers are standing by.
G has arrived here. Basic German armored fighting vehicles. Probably the most built German armored fighting vehicle of the war. Pretty reliable assault gun. Something more people need to utilize, I feel, because it was more used than the Panzer IV by the end of the war. Oh, but it's being rushed up without infantry support. Stuke needs infantry supports. Yeah, one over penetration there from the T-34. Definitely gonna force the pull back. Oh, and the T-34s are going for it. Nope, they're rethinking it. That could have been quite a push, but I guess they're gonna wait for the fourth T-34. Long match, holy shit. I wonder how one side's gonna win this, because it's just looking like a stalemate at the moment. Both sides are quite exhausted, but the Germans have a lot of fuel stored up, and munitions as well. Just need a way in to attack, I guess.
I suppose you have orders?
Officer reporting.
Players going over the battlefields, giving the Soviets an idea of what the Germans are doing. Select the Soviets here and do the fog of war. We can see the entire front line, basically. So the Russians now know everything. The force is still being repaired. Soviets could even take up if they wanted, if they get the stuff and get KVs. I'm not sure how effective that's gonna be. Ready for relocating.
A pack gun is ready for orders.
And another pack is arriving. I think. Yeah, there we go. Now we actually have a pack 40 rather than a pack 38.
T-34, crude loaded and ready. Ready for order. T-34 ready.
The 4 T-54s moving together could definitely be a problem unless they are dealt with swiftly.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
It looks like the Germans are going to try and make a go for it on the northern flank. Pushing in with some Osttruppen with the 222 for support. Russians need to relocate some stuff northwards.
Reserves at the ready.
Lots of conscripts are just flooding that way. And then being shut out from the flank by the MT-34, very smart positioning. Only one T-34 moving, that's also smart, so they don't have to risk everything. Here comes the T-34. The 2 is immediately trying to get out of there. The Russians just need to push out those Osttruppen. Oh, are the Osttruppen gonna try and get closer to prepare for Panzerfaust? Looks that way. Oh, but all the shots are just stopping them. Yeah, they died.
We have casualties.
Brave attempt, but not gonna work. T-34's down here, not doing much. 5th T-34 being prepared. I think the Russians are just preparing for a full-on armored assault frontally for when they get all the T-34s. That's what it feels like. We also have another 100mm AT gun going up in the center.
Mortar ready for orders.
German Howard's opening fire again, aiming for the Soviet base. Now it's starting to get a little bit laggy. But because of all the wrecks and all the damage that's been done.
The enemy is attacking our HQ. T-34, crude loaded and ready.
It looks like the 5th T-34 was cancelled. They're gonna go for like a double T-34 prong attack with 2 in the north and 2 in the south.
T-34, crude
That could be what they're aiming for. I really recommend getting preventative maintenance if you are bases on artillery strikes. Because the Germans are trying to push up the southern flank as well. Explosive shells are loaded.
Our command post is under assault.
Ooh, good shot there from the pack. The pack 40 by the looks of it. We also have more Osttruppen being forward deployed.
We have additional Osttruppen available.
Come. Artillery shells keep landing. That's also why I recommend getting this one, because that means you don't have to micromanage the repairs of your base with your sappers.
Why are they shooting at us?
Means you can have your focus elsewhere. There's like a new forward HQs being set up in the northern flank by the Capitan.
At the ready.
Haven't seen any battle groups called in from either side. Guess they're mostly relying on what they have at their normal disposal.
New anti-tank gun has arrived.
The Alpha class are revealing to the Germans that not a lot defending this flank. They will be able to get shots in on that T-34 now.
The enemy is taking our
Oh,
territory.
the Storm Grenadier has definitely mowed down a lot of units there. T-34 on the southern flank down. And Pack is getting some good shots in from the rear here. Well, not from the rear, from the flank. Luke can also get some shots in.
We are suffering losses.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Find the gun. Now the Germans are mainly able to push them the fuel down here. But the Germans are slowly turning this battle into their favor.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector. Things are getting hot here.
Ooh, and we have more Ostrom pushing up, throwing another egg grenade. Conscripts, however, they don't get suppressed. But they're still getting killed.
Infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
The conscripts just don't cut in the long run against more elite infantry like the Panzergrenadiers. Especially with the kind of weapons they have. Big some artillery strike going in there. Laying out the Pack 38. The T-54s need repairs, more T-54s being prepared.
Our HQ is under attack.
Ostrom now able to get sight on the Soviet base. They're being shut down by the base defenses. I think the Soviets are starting to be in a bad spot.
Supply sector under attack.
Especially with all the Panzergrenadiers getting onto the field here. They're able to hold many of the points. The northern flank is also being felt. Another Ferdinand is being prepared by the Ostdivision.
T-34 ready for combat.
Honestly, I don't think they really need the Ferdinands. Probably some Panzer IV Aegis would be a good idea, more Stuks. Will probably also be more economical. How expensive is the Ferdinand? 800 and 230, okay. A stock. Yeah, that's yeah, you could get like 3 stocks for like 1 Ferdinand. You also think the Kampfkraft center set up now. Took them long enough. T-34 slowly pushing back the Pioneers. There is a pack set up here. Soviet base keeps being shelled. Pack 40 trying to push up here. T-34s marine themselves. Ooh, getting some critical shots there on this Stuk, killing it.
Has been destroyed.
1 T-34 down. That pack might not survive. Yeah, definitely not survive. T-34s keep pushing. Trying to overrun the German positions. Being immobilized by the flak. NG-34 taken out. And more Ostrom trying to flank here, but they've been tapped by a high explosive. Overshot. Back on the flank. No penetration on the flank here yet. Like about to clear it. But the Ferdinand is on the field now again. Black taken out. Ferdinand reveals himself and gets a kill. Artillery strikes keep landing in the Soviet base. Well, the Soviets are starting to suffer now here at the late game. This division is just trying to cover every angle they can. And here comes the Ferdinand. Ooh, yeah, that might be the death of that T-34. Now one shot with that 88mm is all it takes. Soviets are still trying despite everything. They even cleared out the pack down here with some conscripts. And I got the grenade assault upgrade. That's not one I never actually really get. Well, because we replaced the Molotov. But a 6-man grenade assault actually does seem pretty viable. 100mm has been recruited though. Oh, one good shot there, almost killing the Ferdinand in one shot. That's one big Soviet HC gun. I'm impressed how good the 100mm is doing. The Pan's gonna just keep getting kills. But they have to get out of there. Well, Pan speed is being lost is a big issue. Soviets keep getting troops in. Another pack destroyed.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
The Storm Grenadiers died at some point that I missed. The Russians need to get some more resources again. They are still suffering. And the Germans have a lot of munitions now because they've held so much of the map for a bit. It's definitely only gonna help the Germans become a lot more entrenched.
Scout car has arrived.
The 222 called onto the field, arriving with the autocannon thanks to an upgrade. The thanks to this one. Panzerspeerwagen. Das ist der Radpanzer. I don't think the Radpanzer is required against bold actions, obviously. This T-34 is going to have to move around a lot to try and supplement the Russian force. Yeah, 1 2 down. The Russians moving northwards. Ferdinand being repaired here. This will ill the simulator to go into the fight again. I don't think the Russians can make a comeback at this point. I think the Germans have just too many things, but one can always be surprised. Just throwing conscripts at the problem late game is not going to solve anything, I feel. There's an MG34 on the ground. But these guys already have full weapon loadout. The 2-2's getting around the T-34 because T-34 is too slow. Ferdinand's quick get a shot in. Almost clean the T-34. And just trying to get around the destroyed rubble of a house here. Gonna do attack round. Panzerfaust going off on the Panzer Grenadiers, but the T-34 drives away. So it's running low on troops. The Germans are slowly just getting territory. And with the Ferdinand now in position soon, that's going to be a much bigger problem. Oh, and T-34 lacks cyber infantry, that's why I couldn't see it. Now that it's being shot at, okay, you can clearly see. Ferdinand is revealing itself there.
More of our troops have been lost.
Well, this T-34 is not going to do much at this rate, I feel. Panzergrenadiers are rushing up. Playing a Panzerfaust, but the guy gets shot. T-34 against the 2-2. The 2-2 don't want to stay there. Oh, did not penetrate. Oh, thanks to the Radpanzer. See, that's why you get Radpanzer. It can really help your 2-2 survive. Most Truppen dying there.
The enemy has killed another infantry
The
squad.
Soviets, they're just trying to prolong the inevitable at this point, I feel like. Another 2-2 coming out to the fields. The Fox Grenadiers still moving out again. No, we'll upgrade from the Kampfkraft Center then. If you're not gonna use the Kampfkraft Center, why buy it? The repairs on that T-54 immediately by the looks of it. Second T-54 is being prepared finally, however. But I don't think the Russians can last long enough. Two down. Right now with some Aufklass to scout for it. Folks can just reading themselves with the EBS Aegis. And another 2-2. I guess they like the 2-2s here. It is a pretty cheap and reliable vehicle. What does it cost? Only 210, 15 and 10. That's not that bad at all. That's a pretty good light vehicle. Ooh, Ferdinand is standing up right there. Getting a good shot there on one T-34, almost killing it in one shot, destroying the gun.
One of our emplacements is under attack.
Now the forward HQ might soon be targeted because the Germans are pushing in from the northern flank. Artillery is still going into the Soviet base. The Soviets still holding on somehow. Oh, and those folks gonna get almost killed by that grenade assault. Pretty long match, and I am feeling quite tired because I tried to record another match earlier, but the game kept crashing, so I switched to this one. It seems like that fixed it.
The enemy is trying to destroy a structure.
At least I'm feeling somewhat happy that it's not happening still, and that T-34 got blown to pieces by that 88 gun.
Vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
Like the 88 on the Ferdinand here is just such a menace. I think we can safely speed up time because I don't think much is gonna happen here. Germans pushing from the north. Russians are just getting more and more conscripts, and I don't think conscript spamming
Under attack.
really works late game.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
I said the Germans just keep slowly creeping closer and closer and mowing down all the conscripts, as you can see. Well, that 40 HQ keeps repairing itself. As you can see, the conscripts... Oh wait, we have a push here.
Infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Before arriving here to support the conscripts and pushing back the pack. Now the Ferdinand's driving northwards. Fox is heading downwards to try and intersect. Obviously, the Ferdinand only has a small machine gun, I believe. Probably infantry and nothing else. I guess that's where the 2-2s come in. And Buchholz is just spamming conscripts. Which, as you can see, they've... Oh no, they're switching also to spamming Fontaviki.
Our command post is under assault.
Guess they're hoping some Fontaviki supplement in will help.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
He's definitely gonna double up on the men. But also like tripling the costs.
Fresh guards troops are standing by.
And the Russians just keep pouring out of this part of the town. Well,
We
city.
have more conscripts at our disposal. Guards troops ready for action.
More 2-2s are being prepared here. I guess they need something to just deal with all the infantry. Not like they're dealing with much else.
Have arrived.
Only that T-54. If that T-54 gets taken out, that might be the end of the Russian resistance here. Now the howitzer fires in again. Like, at this point, there's no shame in surrendering, I feel, because this is just...
Attacking our HQ.
You're being completely pinned in by your base at this point. Before rushing out as well, getting destroyed and shut up by the 222s and the Ferdinands. Basically being rendered a husk at this point, and now one more shot will do it. Yeah, there you go.
A sector has been cut off.
Like, at this point, there's no shame in ending, and they fought for a very long time. Triple 222s. Lots of AT grenades going out, none of them penetrating for now. And the Russians are just lacking in munitions now.
More of our troops have been lost.
They're completely mowed down out here, and at this point, Bukos surrenders. Took them a while. Well, this was Ost in the sheets and blood in the streets. I'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye bye.